Hello, 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 welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Doug. Hello, hello, hello. I am no welder. I'm the last furthest thing in the world from being a welder. And in fact, having endless gas and welding rods and time, I did it a lot and still not even at an acceptable level. It's not easy, man. It's one of those things like reminds me of playing the guitar where by your first, second lesson, halfway into it, you're like, this is way, way harder than I ever dreamed it would be. Welding's kind of like that. You think it's not that easy. And all I'm getting at is I'm the worst person to take advice from. But, let me get you my tripod. I did just pick up from Amazon a $50 MIG welder. I had to grab it. I'm like, for $50, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Their return policy is so good there. Oh God, it is heavy. It is heavy. I figured I'd throw a roll of dice on it. It's not going to be great. You know that right off the bat. It's going to be thin metal. You're not going to be welding anything very thick. Go home. It did come with a welding mask that I had thrown out already. It was just a joke. I couldn't even find one really to show you what it looked like. This is what I found that was pretty close to it for 78 cents. Handheld. It had the handle. I kept the stupid little handle for some reason, but there's this mask part out. It's weird that they give you such junk. And it forces you to have to weld one-handed, which is kind of bummer. But it went immediately into the garbage. It was just laughable. The thing was just totally a joke. The rest of it, however, isn't terrible. I opened it up. It seemed okay. It came with a spool wire. It's just very Harbor Freight-like, This has, like, the styrofoam all stuck to it. I don't know how that happened. Probably from the 17,000-mile voyage across the seas rubbing in the case. And the styrofoam packing, probably. It says it's for 178. I think, how many amps? I forgot. I don't even remember. I can't believe it was 170. It does say 170 amps, but there's no way in hell. In reality, it's probably about 40, 60. So this is a type of MIG welder. I should actually show you that, you don't need gas. Normally MIG welding, there's a gas. A MIG stands for, it's kind of weird, metal inert gas. So the metal being the spool inside of here that comes out of the tip is your welding electrode, your welding rod, so to speak. Like if you're arc welding, that'd be your stick. Whereas TIG welding is different, but in this instance, the MIG, the metal, I believe, is meant for the metal rod. It's a spool that's in here that feeds as you're going. See, I had trouble getting this open last time. I don't remember how I did it. My microphone cable's so short. There we go. Because when I clipped the spool, it just, bird nested immediately. It'll never feed right. I don't know enough if they all do that when you clip them, but this thing just all, it was just dust. But feeding it and everything was really easy. So there's like a feed mechanism in here that I should probably get zoomed in on. And it was pretty easy. It really went well. There's grooves in that wheel that you'd flip for different size wire. Sort of gnarled in there, but it went real nice. Went real easy. Pretty simple. I had opened it up also to see if I could reverse the AC and DC going to the leads, because I guess in some cases you need a DC positive or DC negative, it depends. But I'm not even sure you can change that on this. It didn't look like, for some reason when I opened it up, it didn't look like it was something you could change the way they designed it, but I could be wrong. What else? I'm not even in a position to demonstrate the thing yet. Well, I'm like $50. Come on, these, were super expensive. You could pretty much only, for the longest time before the Amazon era, you were stuck to a few brands pretty much. You'd be going to probably Home Depot or Lowe's, or there weren't all that many places, and they were only selling, Lincolns and Millers and Hobarts that are $1,000 each. This always seemed unachievable, like out of reach, like they were just too expensive. But that's one thing about Amazon, it's very competitive. But yep, so this type doesn't use gas. Most of your MIG uses gas, and this one doesn't. So it's weird that the flux is the wire, So you have to protect your weld from the atmosphere. I'm not sure how, I forgot how this does it without gas. It's something in the wire. Honestly, to look at, it's so dirty, it looks like it's already been used. Oh, I can't unscrew that. That should unscrew. Oh, maybe it doesn't. I need that special tool to get that unscrewed from inside. I'd hate to unscrew this because God only knows. Normally you'd have a shielding gas, argon and helium mix, and this does not have that. This special wire doesn't need it, apparently. I used to know how it worked, and now I don't. I totally forgot now. But there's some principle involved with it that it can shield itself without gas or shield or flux. Sometimes if it's bare wire, you would dip it into a flux and actually add the flux yourself. A flux is just a term for anything that's going to protect your weld from the atmosphere for a very brief moment. Called a split second, I think, is all it really needs. Because the atmosphere is full of very corrosive to a weld. It's corrosive to a weld. The air we breathe. So shielding gas or a welding rod's got that crunchy crap on the outside of it. I did a video about it. This has nothing, which is really strange. But there's a principle behind it, how it gets away with that. And I can't remember what the heck it was. I forgot. But it supposedly welds better if you have the leads connected the right way. Sometimes you have the negative going through the stinger. Sometimes you have the positive going through the stinger. That's something that, just another one of the nuances, the many, many nuances to welding. And you got to do it. You got to just keep doing it. It'd be nice to have a seasoned veteran helping you. That's always useful, instead of winging it, doggy style. But keep reading, keep practicing. I got some metal I'm going to try, and it's only a 110 too, which is nice. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'll videotape the whole thing. Anyway, yeah, $50 MIG welder. Jesus H. Who would have thought? I'm sure it's not that much different. I mean, it is, of course, different than your name brand ones, but time will tell. It'll be interesting. I'm sure it's just fine, I did seen plenty of videos. And these have been around for a while. You see these are Harbor Freight and stuff for $100. A little bit more. Yeah, 50 friggin' bucks. Anyway, go Amazon. It'll be the death of me. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great day. Bye-bye.